Ask him Lumi Amosam. This madness, one time by me fixing. No have by me cutting all the sugar now, one time, they blacks in Pakistan looking. Now look, continue look, him tax holiday, Ramon Nicol sit down, and need development agreement, or to tax holiday for 10 years. In fact, you look in this IRC report. 20 years. Not the 10 years come away. Tax holiday for 20 years. I'm not the midness can. When I'm responsible government, but passing away in a look this last time, people blame like boom start. Miss Napoli, making people blown. Usuno Bundi, Kurumukari Leronas. One thing people no matter no mine extension or expansion. Until new blood deal by black sheep.
Honorable Governor Blumberang.
Thank you, Mr. Number One Speaker. Yes, number two, give him to correct us. So, me no are good. Amas minute them give him. Because me ask him the 30 minutes.
Honorable Governor, I am standing order. I talk 20 minutes. So you may like extend him time, question time by 20 minutes. So you may be in him standing order. Thank you.
You're right, Mr. Speaker. Make it all right. As ikim lomi inoka talk sawe igolong Minister of Treasury. Tasol me no looking Minister of Treasury is down inside. So me salim this la asking me go Prime Minister. All right, ask him lomi number one and me go longa. Ramu Agri Industry Limited. Mr. Speaker, Ramu Suga sindaon lumadang ground lumadang province long pla time. Producing sugar na assembly mi drink. Amama assembly exim sik lo sugar. Istab yet Ramu Agri Industry, Ramu Suga istab yet Ramu Agri Industry kam sindaon na planning oil palm. Naigat Ramu beef tu istab, Ramu oil palm istab na Ramu Suga lo ground lo madang. Mr. Speaker, last year me writing on the pass go long Commissioner General of IRC. Me ask him why Takis belong Ramu Industry only buy me go lo Marape province. Time sugar, one time oil palm, na Ramu beef istap antab lo ground lo madang. Madang ino kisi mo amblang kage bun istap. Look at good blood back me come. Also come on the tax regime I'm stop. Also sales office or address blow office blow on the industry stop blow one province. Desla province babayin Takis. Me raising this la question one them trasra ino bekim. I'm talking about them no desla. What can madness them desla? What can tax regime me blow in the country where probably ground ino kisim kai bun start na narabla province kai kisim tax. Desla ba apply lo Eastern Islands to Aram good chabla province. You blow growing lusim ground bli lo growing all product bli tablo ground na narabla province kisim tax takis longan. Barang kai bun. Ask him Lumi Amosam. This madness, one time by me fixing. No have by me cutting all the sugar now, one time they blacks in Pakistan looking. Pablo ground kai bun stop na drink sugar na pilim sweet stuff. Pablo cutting out sugar. Oil palm one time. Straight in this land. PSC belum disenang finish, bami belago lo court. Lo reclaim yang blessing lo madang. One time country tu, no kan senang nothing, checking province beli tu. District beli belah. So ask him about Sam. Ina people straight in, Prime Minister, sorry, true you speaker. Pablo ground, usaroli planin sugar longemo, planin moipamo, planin coffee yo, planin cacao, mas kisim takis longan. Provincial government kisim strike. This is daylight robbery. Marang non absunon nagage bunyet na stop. Imala kisimbek, Papua New Guinea, kisimbek marang, no. You be working now, 50 years now. 50 years no independence. Them number one question. By Mr. Tim Desla no gat. Me ask him what's marang mas kisimbek and takis. Number one question. Number two question. Ego lo Ramu Nicol. Nearby talk to lo Ramu Nicol yet. Desla week lo tunde. Commissioner General Blair Sigan. And me out in one bla talk. Come up the media if look him. They talk thank you remember Wabeg me ask him this question. Can wrote or big bla multi-million na billion company. You come inside lo extractive industry or brown industry or blue industry or can color industry. Only work lo robbing ni plus stop. Want them can all tax regimes. Can all structure belong accounting blow law now loopholes stop. What are more schemes or scams? Now look, continue look in tax holiday. Ramon Nicol sit down and need law development agreement or to tax holiday for 10 years. In fact, you look in this IRC report. 20 years. Not 10 years come away. Tax holiday for 20 years. I'm not a midness can. When I'm responsible government by passing away in a look this last stop. People blame like boom stop. Me are remote mine extension back come up. Me son up lawyer making people belong. Usuno bundi, Krumu carry leronas. One thing people no marang nito. No about mine extension or expansion. Until Nubla deal by election. There is going to be no extension of mine. Until we get a good deal. Now let us talk IRC. Commissioner General, me 1 million straight, Mr. Number One Speaker. I'm talking me got some road blow like kisim narabla tax holiday ken. Ramuni kolino nupla. Time nupla time nipla le antai sim na grisim. Me talk thank you lo late say Michael Thomas Mare. Thinking nipla lo des la time country bagarap na need him investment. Na kisime mi kam lo des la time. Now this la government was responsible government by me fix him. Na Ramuni kolino nupla company am down name like narabla tax holiday lo mine expansion. No got I'm stop please. We don't have enticing him to stop yet. I'm willing to expend him. Now I'm buying tax credit.
Number two ask him.
So number two ask him also. Prime Minister through you speaker. By appoint him. Enough people appoint him one state negotiation team now. People from Madang must have been solution the state negotiation team. Now lo working talk lo extension. Me ready lo stop lo state negotiation team. Come up in state negotiation team now. Me look him. Kumul Mineral Holding Limited. All start to negotiate lo backside. Minister of Money, you know, stop lo, yeah. Take note. MRA, MRDC. Without knowledge of the provincial government, na people of Lamarang even negotiate lo one something. Come lo place na talk. Papa lo ground no chinon na stop. Popla major claim lo Ramu Nicol. Lo Krumu carry o laram talk stop. All talk by no not come up. Come up in state negotiation. Enough people come up in state negotiation team lo tomorrow lo expansion lo mine. Na putin people no marang step in selo desla. No can go back settle people na working on negotiation. Nothing.
Thank
you, Mr. Speaker. I'm asking companies also.
Ask him to finish.
I finish now. You ask him also, so I finish. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Prime Minister.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to place on record my appreciation for the question raised by Governor for Medang. First time through, we all get a right to ask him question in as far as matters pertaining to his province is concerned. So I want to register my full appreciation for the question that is raised. Also acknowledge our children sitting up at the public gallery. And I do sincerely appreciate if some of the noises we make downstairs does disturb and rattle the ears, but this is what we are faced with as leaders. We also look into issues of past and try to make correction going forward so that your future is secured in the work we do. Matters like Ramu Nickel, matters like Ramu Sugar, or matters like the MVIL conversation that was raised earlier in the question earlier, issues and legacies that we're trying to clean up today as we move forward into the future. I want to assure the good governor for his series of questions. Any way, form, and shape to get better for our people is the reason why I exist as your Prime Minister today and this government exists. I want it to be absolutely clear, no shade of doubt. And my record on Pogra is a testimony to what this government is resolved to do. In Pogra, Mr. Speaker, we were earning just 5%. The proper grants were earning 5%. The provincial government, 2.5%, brother. But that was the SML1 agreement we were stuck with. In fact, in 1988, when the then Pango government signed the Pogra, we had 30% stake in the mine. But when our country hit a severe financial crisis in late 1990s, and I can't blame them, at the backdrop of the severe El Nino in 1997, at the backdrop of global financial crisis, the government then had to make some adjustments. Some of the structural adjustments made, including the offload on our powerful PNGBC that was subsumed by a junior banker and now standing big in BSP, and the conversation on MVIL, the conversation removing then our 30% stake in Pogra. Origin Mineral then had Pogra. Origin Mineral was subsumed, and I may be wrong, there are others who are more qualified who have been in and around those spaces as lawyers and accountants and people in the 80s and 90s, the generation before me who had a hand in many of these misconstructs that we're trying to rectify. I clearly understood how we lost our majority say in Pogra, the 25% say in Pogra that Oregon held. And so Pogra was reduced just to 5% that we held, and this government made correction. But our correction was only able to be made when the lease period expired, Mr. Speaker. There's a reference point to Ramu Nickel. There's a reference point to the Ramu Agro. Mr. Speaker, let it be known to us, we are a country that respects agreements. We must not be seen to break agreement right in the center or right through the life of that agreement. Something that our country, even to my own dismay, I give you another example. I am the first one to admit I'm not happy in Ramu Nickel project agreement or Lear mine project agreement. But as your Prime Minister, my hand is handicapped with the agreements that we already have in place. That is legitimate agreement signed by a legitimate government back then. It runs its course. And for Lear, God bless whoever is in government when the lease expires. I want that government to get it right for our people. But any moment, if the covenant is to be reviewed by agreement by both parties, example, in this instance, there's a proposal emerging. There's a proposal emerging for the Ramu Nickel, and government has been pushing the downstream processing element. There's a proposal emerging that the project agreement can be varied to increase the scope of the project. I want to give assurance to Governor of Madang and the people of Madang. When we sit on the review table, then the people of Madang through the governor's office and the local members will be invited to contribute their views into a better benefits sharing agreement that is the entitlement and that is the right work for our country. But having said this, in between those agreements and today, the Internal Revenue Commission has the right, in as far as the duty is concerned, to check so that any and every revenue that needs to be collected must be collected. And I cannot stop them from doing their job. That is their right, whether it's checking Lear, or checking Ramu Nickel, or checking Pogra or Teri, or any resource for the matter, including Ramu Sugar or Ramu Agro. I want to say that we are a country that is governed by rules and regulations and agreements. We honor agreements, but if the IRC feels that some element of internal revenue collection that needs to be collected, then they will do their job unimpeded. I want to point to the first question you raised on Ramu Sugar or Ramu Agro. There are different streams of revenue. The streams of revenue that most provincial governments are entitled to is the goods and services tax. The goods and services tax. Today, for instance, some other provincial government will complain that while LNG is hosted elsewhere, or the harvest from LNG is hosted elsewhere, or harvest from gold projects hosted elsewhere, some companies operate in Port Moresby as our nation's capital. The payment in terms of the tax payment for GST, but everyday payment, swiping cards or check writing for goods procurement happens out of Port Moresby or Ley, then those are collected there. It's a matter of public policy readjustments that can be made, and I want to give assurance to the Governor that it is not out of reach. Part of the 50th reset, how do we ensure that provinces in which resource projects are hosted, whether it's agro, forestry, fisheries, or mining, oil and gas, you have a right to have that fire in you that it is harvested from area. How do we have an equitable? Our constitutional goal number 2 says equitable benefit sharing. How do we have an equitable benefit sharing? These are things that we can look into, Governor. I look forward to your participation in our government caucus. I look forward to your participation in public discourse. You are a very esteemed legal mind yourself. You are the first person in 2019 to brought me into Pangu Party. You were there when I signed to become Pangu Party leader. And I want to ask you, let's look into the policy construct. Let's look into a legal construct that gives respect to you as the host of those resource projects. So other benefit sharing, if it is not GST, then how can other benefit sharing recompense or address the need for resource area people and province, district, and LLG to be embraced? And so, good question, Mr. Speaker. And this, at this present stage, in my view, involves going further from a public policy into legal readjustments that we can make to make sure everyone has a equitable place on the table. Thank you.